The WorkSharp Field Folding Sharpener has been a super convenient tool for me, and I've been playing around with it the last couple of weeks. I love that, like you saw in the beginning, you can shove it in a backpack and it clips onto admin type compartments really easily. It takes up very little room, it adds virtually no weight to the pack. This has nothing to it, and obviously with a pocket clip, you can put it in a pocket next to your knife or multi-tool as well if you want to carry it that way, and it would still add very little bulk to your bag. It opens up like this, and you have I believe it's a 400 grit coarse file, diamond grit file, and you have a ceramic fine tuning stone right there that you can use. And I think this combo of things works for most of your needs. You gotta obviously temper your expectations a little bit that this isn't going to take the place of a water stone or some serious sharpener you might have in your house. But the idea of this obviously is the convenience of knowing everywhere you go, you could have something to maintain your knives with you that does a pretty good job. Now, they got it set up so you could hold it like this, and then on a smaller blade like I got in my Leatherman here, they have an edge guide right there on either side, so you could just line your blade up on that. I believe it's 20 and 25 degrees and use it. I, on this knife, prefer a more shallow grind, but you can just skip the edge guide right there and still pretty easily go the length of it and then do the same thing on the other side. But if you do want to use the edge guide, then you just lay it against it like that and it puts your knife at that angle, and then you just try to be consistent and pull across like that. I've only used the diamond stone on this a couple of times, and that's mostly just, I like to keep my knives pretty functionally sharp, and so if you're on it, I feel like you'll probably be using the ceramic stone most of the time, if not a strop. And I've been pretty impressed that even on a larger blade, like this fixed blade here, you might look at a little sharpener like this and wonder, am I going to be able to do this? You do definitely have to be a little deliberate, and obviously on a Scandi grind, I'm not going to use the 25-degree guide, and so you do lose a little of the surface lining up the Scandi edge here, but I still think if you're deliberate, there's enough sharpener to hit all of it before you run out of stone, especially if you're just using a pull design like that. And let me go the other direction here. Obviously, it's not ideal. It would be nicer to have a longer stone, but it can definitely be done. And obviously, you're trading versatility for sheer sharpening size here, but for most of the knives that I would carry with me on a regular basis and probably want to use, I think this is sufficient. It does a good job, and definitely I can tell the difference after I've touched up one of my blades with that ceramic stone. On the slightly larger regular field sharpener, the one that doesn't fold, you also get a leather strop, which is probably the only thing I feel is missing from this. It would be nice to have a strop that I could probably use with a lot of these knives without even having to use the ceramic stone. But if you use real light pressure on the ceramic stone, you're getting kind of a similar treatment to stropping without really taking off any metal. And like I said, I feel like that's the trade-off for something this small. I have never had a sharpener this small that had this much versatility to it. I have had a couple of Spyderco plates, but they were both so fine that when I found myself in a situation where I had a really dull knife at somebody else's house that they wanted me to touch up, sometimes it took a lot of effort to do it with that, and then the other coarse stones I had were much larger and not convenient necessarily to take with me on travels. And so this, being able to throw it in a backpack and everywhere I go, know that I could maintain stuff, super useful. Okay, so who is this ideal for? I think this is for the backpacker, the EDC type of fan, the type of person who likes to bring a variety of things with them every day, likes to feel prepared, and doesn't want a really loaded down pack or a big package. You're okay to leave your big water stones and stuff at home, and you just want something that if you're out for a hike, if you're out camping, if you're just whatever, know that you could take care of stuff. And as a little bit of an alternative to the regular field sharpener that WorkSharp offers that's a bit bigger, this folds up and kind of is its own case. Really nice. You don't have to worry about putting it in a pack and then something bumping it or scuffing the stones and things like that. I find that a big plus and a bit of a reason why this is a fair trade-off from their slightly larger regular field sharpener to get this type of functionality and to be able to put it in a pocket also. That's not something that you really get on many sharpeners that I've seen. And the price point is good. Anything in the $20 to $35 range for a good sharpener that it does a good job touching up knives, I think is a great price. And you can't really go much lower than that without just getting into the little pull-through sharpeners that make a lot of people grind their teeth thinking about what that does to your blade. And so this provides a good amount of value for the money, I think. Only little minor gripes, things that I've noticed in the couple of weeks I've played with it, and I don't know how well it comes through on the camera, but this little logo tag here scratches really easily. I think I just took my fingernail and was trying to get off a little blemish that something had stuck to it, and just that little small motion put a whole bunch of like permanent marks that don't rub off on this, and it struck me as if I continue to put this in my backpack, or especially if you were wearing this in a pocket, that would become probably scratched up pretty obviously fairly quickly. Now, how much do you really care about that, since all it is a WorkSharp logo? Right, it doesn't interfere with the functionality at all. But it was just something that stood out to me as like day one of using this. I was like, well, darn, I've already got all these marks all over it. It looks like I've been carrying this for a long time. But, you know, your mileage may vary. Maybe you don't care. Just thought I'd mention it at the very least. As a final thought, just in terms of keeping it clean, this is metallic, so try not to get this wet because it could rust. This, they say that you can just clean with soapy water, and I used one of those bristle brushes that you'd use for dishes and just kind of scuffed up with some Dawn, and most of the black that you accumulate from using it comes right off doing that. And so if you've never cleaned a ceramic stone that way doing that, it's that simple, and you could maintain this real easy. I'm pretty sure you can only get this right now through WorkSharp's website. I don't see it on Amazon, at least at the time of recording this video, so I'll leave a link in the description. It's not an affiliate link that you can use to order this if you're interested. I think that's about it for what I wanted to say about it. If you have questions, something that I didn't address in here, put them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. And otherwise, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.